Hey, y'all, J.R. Smith here. Welcome to a very special impromptu episode of the Veterans Ranch Show. Again, I am J.R. Smith, Vice President, co-founder, and as we say, General Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of the Veterans Ranch. We, as always, like everybody to please like, comment, share, subscribe, anywhere you can find us on social media. And then, of course, scrolling across the bottom here, you can always find us at theveteransranch.org. Again, that's theveteransranch.org. We're going to leave that up there and scrolling. Folks, over the weekend, we were teasing a very special announcement that we're doing here, that we are bringing to you live today. Folks, I have been speaking with this gentleman for probably a year, if not a little bit more. We've been trying to put things together. Timing just wasn't right at the time, and now it is. I want to get right to it so he can share his part. We are very proud to announce that we have country music artist, producer, and just all-around general guy, and I kind of screwed that up. I kind of wanted to say something else, but CJ Garton is actually going to be the Veterans Ranch official spokesman. So let's bring him in here and let's welcome CJ Garton, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Man, so glad to have you on here. We thank you so much, for the support that you've offered us. You're a Navy veteran yourself, so you really understand what it is we're doing. From just growing up on a ranch and having horses and cattle and everything, all the way to, wearing combat boots, yourself. I just want to turn it over to you. Why don't you go ahead and share about yourself and let's go from there.
How's it going, guys? Thank you very much, JR, for the kind introduction. I think you did just fine. Bringing us in here, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of the Veterans Ranch and the future progress that it's going to make. Hopefully, as a spokesperson, I have one job, and that is to shine for y'all's nonprofit organization. First, I'd like to say thanks for bringing me in, brother. And I've thought long and hard. Like I said, when we met, we jumped in. Oh, thank you, brother Paul. Yeah, it's my birthday. Paul just wishes a happy birthday on here. But for my birthday, one of the best things I could ever do was reach a point in my life where the music I make and the career that I've chosen, the path that I've chosen, can do something to help others, because music's
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. We'll just give it a second here. He'll bounce right back in. We don't know what happened. We are having some technical difficulties. Hang on. We're just going to keep working on it here. We're going to keep moving forward and seeing what happened here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think maybe we lost a signal or something. Just give us a second. He'll bounce right back in. As you can see, he's remote today. So sometimes, maybe Google just didn't like the conversation, right? And he'll bounce back in. So give it just a second, y'all, and we'll have him right back in here in a second. And we'll just keep on trucking. While we're waiting for him to come back in, I don't want dead air here. Thank you again to him for coming on. He'll be back in a second. I want to say a big hey, y'all, to his fan base. It's out there watching right now. For y'all, if you haven't seen us before or heard of us, we were formed in 2017. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. By myself, I am the vice president. My wife, who's the president, we are proud patriots. We are the 99% that support the 1% that wore the uniform. And my dad is the other founder, who's a Vietnam veteran, United States Navy, from 69 to 73. Plank holder on 2 ships, all kinds of things. In 2017, CJ's coming back in. We got a little sick and tired of being sick and tired of seeing the things that were going on, the care that was given to our veterans, the veteran suicide rate going up at the time continued to go up post COVID. And regardless of what the numbers are, we believe one is too many. So, all right, CJ's back in here, and let's get him back. Brother, I said Google didn't like where the conversation was going, and it cut you off. So I was just
well, you know what? You can't blame Google on this one. I want to let you know that wasn't Google at all. That was the Oklahoma temperatures. It's 106 degrees outside. I decided to sit on the porch, and my iPhone told me that it was too hot to function, and that it literally shut my iPhone down. So apparently, iPhones can tell you whenever they're too hot now. I was okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it was so upset, but I apologize. Are we in right now again?
Yeah, we're in. We're good. I was filling your fan base in for folks that had maybe never seen us before, as to who we are, what we do, and things like that. Filling some time. So why don't you just go ahead and pick up where you left off?
All right. Yeah. So what I was saying is it's a very awesome thing to be able to celebrate my birthday by jumping in with you guys. We wanted to make a plan to do this. We didn't actually set out to do this day, but me and you sit and talked about it. And I said, you know what? It's high time to go ahead and make this announcement. We've been trying to get together for the last 2 or 3 months to make that happen. And really, for me, like I said, there's 2 major factors in my life. Growing up on a cattle ranch, working cattle and horses, and hunting and fishing. The great outdoors has been such a huge part of my life, but with it in tandem has always been music. I grew up making music my whole life. It wasn't something I saw somebody do it on TV. We barely even watched TV. We hardly had anything out at the ranch. We didn't have streaming services. They didn't offer cable in our area. If you wanted it, you'd get satellite network, and we didn't have Wi-Fi out there. My grandpa was too strict to spend that kind of money every month. And so, as time progresses and that's become more evolved into what we're on now, these platforms, streaming channels, everybody has access. It doesn't matter where you're at. So I think I was blessed to grow up the way I did because I didn't have a lot of outside influences attacking how I was raised, which it gave me an older sensibility to be able to experience the world around me first, and then the actual virtual reality of the world second. And so this is a process that now is necessary for us to be able to reach out. And it's a huge opportunity for you, for your organization. But I can know how important it is for the equine community to be such a healing factor. I took my son on a 700-mile horseback ride when he was 13 years old, just to do that myself. So when we and you originally met and spoke, I felt it was very serendipitous that you had a ranch for veterans that was a community to literally do therapy and healing through equine services, ranching, the cowboy lifestyle, that fit me, that fit country music. That fit every farmer and rancher, every rural community, every small town that goes to every Friday night football game. It just made sense. And so I'm really honored. I'm really humbled to be able to be that. I'm going to try to be the best spokesperson I can for everybody. We're going to try to make strides. And anybody that's watching this or anybody that's on our channel, if you want to be a part of this program, you want to be a part of helping this program, you know anybody who might have connections to help you guys make strides to succeeding to do that. At the end of the day, I think this is a phenomenal system. And I think it's going to be, I think to the moon is the opportunities for you guys.
Well, and we appreciate that so much. We can relate to that so much we were kidding before we went live. I'm a Gen Xer. I'll be 51 the end of the year. And, we knew how to live without technology and then learn how to adapt to it. But, our parents would say, oh, you're bored? Oh, well, here, let me give you something to do while you're bored, and then give you something else to do after that. And, you didn't dare, tell your parents or grandparents or something that, maybe you were sad about something or somebody just did something to you. You just had to go handle your business,
You
and
did.
it's a different way of life now. And I think maybe we need to get back to a little bit, at least the 80s and 90s, let's get somewhere back around there.
I agree, and the thing is, I mean, we make light of it, but I mean, you've heard that saying "cowboy up." It's not just one of those things that's you say for fun or be ornery. It's really a lifestyle. It's really about about perseverance, about putting your bootstraps on and getting back out there. I mean, we all get knocked down. We all have to go through things. Some a lot worse and traumatic things, but hopefully, if all of us get together, it's a lot easier to do it. You can't do any of this stuff alone. And growing up, like I said, working the ranch, if you had a tractor that had a busted hydraulic hose or broke down out there, you didn't call somebody to go fix it. You fix it. That's just how you did it. And that's just how I think that's how we as a ranching community see life. We see something's broken, we fix it. It's our job to repair it, but we can't always repair what we're dealing with by ourselves. And that's when this comes into play. I talked to my buddy Samuel Davis, who's the real Forrest Gump. And, Sammy loves me to death and I love him. He's one of my best friends and I'm blessed every day to have that opportunity with him. I don't understand, how these blessings occur, these opportunities. I get to meet these kind of people in my life that have such an impact in the world. But I do know that I think it's God's way of telling me that I am here to do something really important, and that my music is here to speak volumes. And so I need to find responsibility and take responsibility to figure out how to do that, how to make that a direction. I think God, I think the way we're raised gives us tools and opportunity, but we have to make the right decisions, have to choose the right paths, because without us, using those tools, they're just going to lay there in the box. And
that's the key. I mean, we're a faith-based organization. We always say it's the good Lord and the horse that did this because, the short version of the story is my dad used to always teach me to keep a legal pad by the bed in case you get an idea in the middle of the night. And that's one of my buddies in Texas right there. He said, you never know what's going to happen. I had a lot of legal pads go a whole lot of nowhere. In October of 2017, I chicken scratched the word ranch on the page, had no idea what it meant. And, for about 2 weeks, I did what I call sealing to paper, praying, kind of like, hey, you're going to tell me what this, means here. And 2 weeks later, my wife and I are going to a Bass Pro Shops. We stop at Chili's for lunch. 20 little Chili's napkins later, the ideas for the ranch were born. And December of 17, we're a charity. I mean, that's not me, right? That is the Holy Spirit himself saying, hey, here's your orders. Go do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm really glad you made the decision to do this. I'm really excited to hear. There's a lot of great things that you'll be able to start sharing here soon. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff I'm excited to share with you guys. I know it's our job to well, I'm sorry, I was reading something Paul did. I love you,
Paul.
I
had to put that up there. Paul, it was great, Paul.
Thank you so much. But that's my job every day. Is to show up, figure out exactly how we can make a change, and you doing that. I did the same way through songs that I needed to write, and Atkins and at the VFW or something. So that's really cool that you're doing that. I didn't mean to get a little sidetracked there, but someone says they changed your life and on a post, I got that and tell you, Paul,
talk about it. I mean, we were working a gun show this weekend, and I was talking to some folks that he'd been in since '86 and 2 tours in Afghanistan, and was there 2 years ago. And and as always, our hearts go out to the now Gold Star families of the 13 we lost on that day. It's horrible. We're not going to get into the politics of what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, but bottom line is, there are families that had uniforms show up on their door that day and say, we regret to inform you. And, that's who we're here to serve. For everybody that doesn't know, it's the veteran and their family, immediate household family, and Gold Star family community. And everything we do is free of charge. So, y'all signed your name on the dotted line, potentially giving that last full measure of devotion for your country. That's all the payment we need.
Absolutely. Well, and it trickles down. It's not one of these situations where we're trying to attack something that's fresh. It's always been there. I will say one good thing about social media, and we talked about the cowboy up thing like that. We have to find both sides that are healing. Like we understand that we got to put our boots on and man up sometimes. We also got to make sure that there is awareness for mental health, PTSD, well-being. Because as a veteran I've met a lot of veterans, we're trained to do all these things. We go through all these A schools and all this training, and there's all these billions of dollars spent to analyze how to be a soldier, but there's not any sort of training to decompress and try to go back to civilian life after that. And some people have a trauma, some people have seen things and dealt with things that have mentally changed them, changed how they think, changed how they see, changed how they feel. We need to figure out how to be a part of that transition, or how to be a part of that healing process, how to be somebody who's an advocate for being positive. Positivity is the most powerful thing we can have. Joy, finding that joy and sharing that joy and that camaraderie and that brotherhood. That's one thing that I found. Like I said, I mentioned Sammy. Sammy's one of my best friends. Sammy loves to fish. He's probably been through some of the most traumatic things I've ever heard of individuals say it. He says it with conviction of joy that he experienced that, and he was able to be there to do something, and now he's doing such great things. And I looked for the last 5-10 years to find programs that I could try to work with. I work with a few here and there. I've got my feet wet in a couple of them, and I'm always glad to help. But it's really nice to finally officially put your name on a stamp on something and say, okay, we're here. We're here for the duration, and we everything that we can do, we're ready to get our hands dirty.
Well, we are just super proud to have you on. I told you on the phone before, I've been accused of being over thankful before, but it's just the way I am. Anybody that helps on it, whether it's what you're doing or somebody gives me $1 at a gun show or they write a big check. The Bible tells us not to put one man above another. I'm as thankful for the dollar as I am for the big check. Overly thankful for what you're doing for us, and it's because it's special, because it is. We don't talk about veterans issues. We don't talk about the transition out. I talk to some guys, they just say, yeah, they got to wear their civvies for 2 weeks and said, get out, because you didn't re-up. Some are dealing with the financial stress of, your average E4 makes 31.5 a year. I mean, better than 50% of our active duty with families are on food stamps. We don't talk about that stuff. Our politicians only talk about veterans issues if they want to get a vote. And I'm not bringing politics into it. It's just a fact. So,
Well, yeah, America
that's
should be politics.
where we feel so blessed and led to do this. And we always say, through God's majestic animal, the horse, we get people, whatever this might be, to lay down a heavy coat of burden and walk off a new and improved version of yourself.
Well, and I mean, it's just because we haven't figured out how to saddle an elk yet.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why it's always been, the horse has always been the cowboy's best friend. And for one of these things to be able to, it literally acts like it's your dog. It doesn't realize it weighs thousands of pounds and it can literally crush you. It sees you as just your little buddy. That's the problem with Lefty. We got Poncho and Lefty at the ranch, my son's horse, and Lefty thinks he's probably a lap dog. He tries to get up on you and love you and rub on you, and he's pushing you around like you ain't nothing. And to get that type of love and affection from something that is such a powerful beast, such a powerful being, and to be able to share that, to be able to enjoy the outdoor life, there's something special and precious about being able to be out in God's country. Being inside four walls that we build and we hide behind is sometimes a tough place to be. To be able to get out and just like you were when you're a kid, man, playing in the yard, and it's the same feeling. But we'll make this just short and sweet. I'm just really, really, really happy to be here. Like I said, I'm really proud to be able to be a part of it and humbled, and I hope I can make the best best support of being a spokesperson for you guys. And we're gonna take this thing to the moon and back, hopefully.
Damn straight. We're going to have some fun with it. I want to throw one more comment up here from one of my other buddies up in Texas, up in the Panhandle. Just wanted you to read that one real quick.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he just right on point.
Yeah, Kyle. Thank you, brother. That's a true thing, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah. At the end of the day, I've lost a couple of buddies, and I always look and think, what could I do differently? How can I handle the next situation? Because when we do lose someone, they don't die in vain. They're not gone. They're not forgotten. You know, it makes me even want to work harder to strive to basically raise their name up higher. You know that we're going to continue to have kids who are going to be children at 18 years old. I don't care what you say. You're not an adult at that age. You're not you've got so much more life to learn, and to sign and go fight for your country and die for your country potentially. That's a big deal, and we need to treat it like that from now on. And we need to be proud of this red, white, and blue, because there's a lot of controversy and conflict. And I hate to say it, but I believe politics is a big part of what that's about. I mean, they want us to be kind of fighting amongst each other instead of addressing real issues. And so I hope us as Americans can overcome that frivolousness of greed and selfishness and kind of coming together as a community. And I think we'll make great strides as Americans, and I think we'll be a better country for it, and we'll be better people for it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, we're going to throw in for everybody. I know you've got your followers listening on here today, and so you're introducing me to them and my folks to you and everything else. So wanted to play one of your videos here. Again, we've been scrolling it across the bottom, cjgarden.com. Check out his music. You can find him on YouTube, pretty much everywhere. He's like us. Anywhere social media exists, he's pretty much on it. You can find him. So I was going to play the song If Daddy Could See. Why don't you tell us about that and kind of what motivated you, what your inspiration was behind that, and then we'll play that real quick.
Well, that's plain and simple. A lot of people had heroes and people they looked up to, and my dad sang and played country music his whole life. The day I was born, that's what I did. But I always knew I was going to do it. But mine wasn't Merle Haggard. It wasn't Johnny Cash. It was my dad. My dad sang, and he rode his butt off, and he was just a cowboy. He taught me a lot about the woods, taught me all about hunting, taught me what to do and what not to do a lot of ways. And 2 months before I got out of the military, a couple months before I got out, my dad passed away on the ranch. And on his 43rd birthday, he had a massive heart attack, is what we believe that had occurred. And I'm a young man at 22 years old burying my father, and so that set with me, and didn't realize how much it did affect me mentally, and the trauma of that. And because he's supposed to go and tackle Nashville and Texas and hit the road and play music and do all these cool things that we had talked about doing, we didn't get to do that. And so that song finally came out of me, because I'd been sometimes the closest things to you are the hardest to write about, or hardest to try to relate to. And then when that naturally happened, about 5 minutes, the song fell out. I knew when I made this record, started my own record label with Joe Spivey, my partner, and Jesse Poe over at Sound Kitchen, and worked this Oklahoma, Texas, and started wanting to tackle Texas radio and the Oklahoma Red Dirt. I wanted that to be our first single, If Daddy Could See, and show my dad, that dreams do come true, and how much of an inspiration he was in my life, and how much he still is a big part of my life every day, even though he's no longer here. So I put this song out, and I actually shaved and played my dad in the video, and my son, Bruce, who he's named after his grandpa and me, plays me. And that was my dad's bunkhouse, and that is our cattle ranch. So everything you're seeing is actually where I grew up, where Dad lived, and that is his true gravestone out there. He started the family plot out there on the ranch. So I appreciate you, bringing that song up. And I guess without further ado, I'll let you.
Yeah, let's do it. I was going to say, it took me twice of watching the video to realize that was you without a beard. You are a different looking dude without the beard.
Yeah, I had the full Aaron Rodgers going, or
Yeah, you did.
My the Tom Selleck, or whatever you want to call it. But that was my dad. That was his look, and he always had the mustache. I think I look better, kind of more full facial here.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right. Well, just hang on. We're gonna bring that up and play that right quick, and then we'll be right back with you. All right. Let's get to it.
From a small town, I came from nothing. With these two hands, I sure built something that Daddy couldn't see. He'd be proud of me. A little hard work never hurt no one. It's what he'd say when we were growing up. We were dirt floor poor, but we never went hungry. I'd spend my days baling hay and sacking groceries at the IGA, scraping to save every penny I had made. I finally saved enough for my first Ford. It was an 84 step, side two door. Then I took off, chasing my dreams. I'm just a boy from Oak Creek County. I grew up with these woods around me. I'm a wild-out southern child. I'm a Pokey. Folks had always said never amount to nothing. Daddy's built and Mama's loving. You made one hell of a man out of me. Oh, if Daddy could see, he'd sure be proud of me. Mama always was a gentle one. Off to bed when dinner was done, she tucked me in and kissed me on my cheek. Daddy's love was a little more stern. Nothing was given, everything was earned. Kind most of the time, except when he would drink. He taught me how to hunt, be a God-fearing man. He'd take us fishing every now and then. Those are some of my favorite memories. Never made college, he had a degree in hard work and elbow grease. Everything he learned, he handed on down to me. I'm just a boy from Cherokee County. I grew up with these woods around me. I'm a wild-out southern child. I'm Pokey. Folks would always say it never amount to nothing. Daddy's built and Mama's loving. It made one hell of a man out of me. Oh, if Daddy could see, he'd sure be proud of me. I got a little place of my own, not too far from Daddy's stone, among the honeysuckle and the white oak trees. Now we got ourselves a boy on the way. I think we're gonna give him your name if Daddy can see. He'd sure be proud of me.
All right, y'all. Let's bring CJ back in here. Man, I don't care how many times I'll listen to it. It is just a damn powerful song. Because me and my dad are real tight. You know, I mean, we've been self-employed together over 20 some odd years, and we just always had a good friendship. But that discipline and everything was there. It wasn't like I got away with the world because my dad was my best friend, but there's a whole lot of power there, and I'm sure everybody out here listening today could probably relate in one way or another.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The song is a powerful song, and like I said, I don't watch the video just because it is my story and kind of hits home a lot. So I'm really glad that it gets the chance to get out there and do some healing, because there's a lot of people who have lost loved ones, and a lot of people who still have their parents in their lives that are still here, and we just want to make them proud. We want to make the ones we love proud, whether it be your wife and kids, your mom and your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your friends, your family around you. And that's really just what that song's supposed to do and supposed to mean.
Yeah.
I hope the thing blows up one day, and where it goes viral, and millions of others get the chance to see the song, because certain songs are just healing, and they're made because they're more powerful than money or focus or fame or attention. That's really not why I make music. I make music because I've always felt like I'm supposed to be a pastor of music, and the songs I write are personal experiences or experiences that have moved me to inspire me to write something. And we can all sing and honky tonk and have a good time. That's real. That's easy. I mean, we've all boot, scoot, and boogie. We all can sing those fun honky tonk songs, but the real songs that really hit us are the ones when we need them most. And I hope those songs can continue to be made, and that country music and the country music industry and the fans out there will continue to help make a difference to making sure those songs are heard, because that means the world to me, and I appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you and I've talked about this. I mean, the very first time you and I met, I was like, damn, that's country music. I mean, because we've gotten poppy, we've gotten what sells on radio and spins, and we got to cross over all these genres, and whatever, to each their own. But
yeah, and people are, but people will speak. People get fed up, and then every now and then something kind of slides through the cracks. Like there's a guy going viral right now, Oliver, and stuff like that, and he's out there singing. It's kind of an Appalachia, Nirvana tone-ish. I'd almost call it alternative country, but with an Appalachia backbeat, backwoods sound. And I love that people are speaking up, because things are going viral, because it's hitting and striking a chord, and whatever that is, I hope that continues to happen. I do hope that there's an opportunity for country music itself, just straight country, to strike that chord with America again as well, because we do need the Keith Whitleys and the Randy Travises and the Merle Haggards and the Johnny Cashes and the working man song, and the real life music to come to life again, because it's not just a business. It's a way of life. It's across your radio. It's across the airwaves. It's when you go to the rodeo, it's being played over the loudspeakers. And that's the kind of stuff we need in our lives. That's the kind of stuff that for generations to come need to hang on to.
Yeah, it's stuff that takes you back, stuff that brings back memories of times, easier times gone by, or things in the past that you did, or experiences with your buddies. That's what real country music is. It brings you back to the heart of America, and just like you say, loving each other again, and just looking out for your neighbor and taking care of each other, instead of worrying about calling the association because they left their trash can out too long. It's just crazy stuff there. Well, again, I just want to thank you so much for coming on here today. I know we've gone about probably a little longer than we wanted to, but there's great stuff to talk about. And for everybody out here, Thank you all for all the CJ Garden fans that are now hopefully our fans, and my fans that are his. Go check his stuff out. We are going to put his website up here again for just a minute. Go to cjgarden.com, find him on YouTube. For both of us, like, comment, share, subscribe. That's how you get the stuff out here. Find out where you're going to find him on the road. Go see his stuff. Because, folks, streaming's nice, but artists aren't making tons of cash on streaming. Streaming's good. It lets people know what's out there. It gets them going viral and things like that. But your average stream on Pandora is like 2 cents a song. Okay.
Oh no, you're being optimistic. It's a fraction of a cent. But you know what?
Okay.
It's 0.07 of a cent. And at the end of the day, I'm here to be a spokesperson for the Veterans Ranch. I'm extremely grateful to use, our fan base, our followers, and people that love country music industry to help lift up what you guys are doing. I'm really grateful that we can be a part of that. But the number one goal here is to help our veterans, help your organization succeed in what it wants to do. And if we happen to end up gaining any new fans or followers because of that, it's because, we're doing the right things and we're grateful for it. But the whole number one thing is just like what there's on your shirt, Veteran Ranch. We're here to support our veterans. We're here to get people back out to the great outdoors and experience the way of life I grew up as a kid doing. That's jumping on a horse and riding. Sometimes, put your mind at task so we don't have to think about nothing else, and it won't. So I'm CJ Garden, guys. J.R. Smith. We'll be posting all our stuff on socials any way we can do anything. And, this is step one to many to come and a lot of hard work in front of us, guys.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, we're going to leave it right there. Let's see. What do we got? We got a couple more from Paul real fast. Said saw Mrs. Garden in the background. Let's see. He has. All right. Well, that's great, Paul. Thank you for all the comments. Everybody that was commenting in here, thank you. We're going to leave it there. This will show up as a post on all of our stuff. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Again, CJ, thank you for supporting the Veterans Ranch. And we're gonna go kick some butt, take some names.
Absolutely, brother.
Talk to y'all later.
One ride at a time.
Yes, sir.